Kamala for VP. I was so pleased to hear that Joe Biden selected professional wrestler Kamala to be his running mate in the 2020 campaign. Oh, wait, that was not his pick? Well, why would he pick the other Kamala? Rest in peace, Kamala. My condolences to the friends and family of the great 80s wrestler Kamala. His real name was James Harris, and this legendary wrestler is missed by the fans and by the wrestlers he battled, such as Hacksaw Jim Duggan. It is ironic that Kamala should pass away just before another person named Kamala hits center stage, as Joe Biden's presumed running mate. What is truly odd about this announcement? It was apparently a preemptive internet leak for something that was about to leak online. That the Biden campaign had selected Harris as Joe Biden's running mate. No word on whether the Democrat candidate himself, Joe Biden, has yet been informed of this decision by those running the Biden campaign. One wonders if Biden will have to be reminded that the attractive and carnally skilled Kamala Harris is not literally to be mated to him. She is his running mate for the 2020 campaign. This distinction may have to be reminded to Joe Biden repeatedly, given his memory problems. That might also answer my puzzlement over how this announcement was pathetically handled. The presidential candidate is supposed to boldly stride up to a red, white, and blue stage. They are then supposed to give a rousing speech about the great running mate they selected and why they are an asset to the overall ticket. Then the running mate would emerge from behind the curtain to the cheering crowd with confetti flying everywhere and stirring music up out of nowhere. Maybe a balloon drop would be included, as John Kerry's backstage director wished he had in 2004. Instead, Joe is locked in some sort of basement deep freezer storage, waiting to be thawed out, to be told that this is who his staff had selected for him without his consent or knowledge. Obviously, the internet and cable news is abuzz this week with all sorts of reactions, and from Trump supporters, there is undisguised glee. The election is over. We know it, the Biden campaign knows it, and every lying anchor on CNN and MSNBC and the news networks know it as well. Only they now are cursing Biden because they have to spend the next 80 or so days pretending that the Biden-Harris ticket is a sure thing and a slam dunk guaranteed win. It's not, but I don't care about any of that. I give you my reactions as they percolate through my partisan brain. Namely, number one, at the peak of the George Floyd riots several months ago, as opposed to the largely unrelated looting and burning being conducted in Democrat-run cities deep into late August, President Trump clearly announced that he would be the law and order president by sending in the federal troops, by sending in the National Guard, calling for looters and people burning buildings to be shot. Why is this important now? Because it's clear that Trump rattled the DNC, the Democratic National Committee, and the Biden campaign with this clear posture in support of law enforcement. The media tried to spin this as Trump is going to speak at Gettysburg because he celebrates the Confederacy's biggest defeat. But that effort has flopped. Forget the media spin. Look at whom the Democrats picked as Joe Biden's running mate, the law and order Democrat, Kamala Harris. She's a cop. She prosecuted minorities for smoking marijuana that she herself laughed about trying. She locked up blacks, and she implemented Joe Biden's crime bill. She notoriously went to work prosecuting Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh and prosecuting President Trump himself. If you believe that the Democrats picked Harris to deflate Trump's campaign stance as the law and order president, then this is a tacit admission that the Dems are reacting to Trump and not acting. If you are reacting to the other side, you're always one step behind. This is not a good place for the Biden team to put themselves in. Number 2. I am pleased that Kamala Harris is finally representing two ethnic groups who have been underrepresented in our nation's top jobs. She is of Jamaican and Indian heritage. Think of the actors presented on TV along those lines. Finally, they can see someone who looks like them in charge in Washington. And think of those of Jamaican descent. Now we have someone at the peak of power who reminds us of Bob Marley, The Roots, Eddie Grant, Thievery Corporation, and Burning Spear. But wait! Prominent civil rights activists stated at the time of the John Lewis funeral that Joe Biden will lose the 2020 election if he does not select a running mate of African American descent. Indian, Jamaican? Nope. Kamala Harris has nothing to do with being an African American. She can claim to be black, but she's not African American, who every white Democrat swore they would defund the police for. They are funding the police with Kamala, the lifelong cop. Whoops again. So for me personally, I am thrilled to see someone with her background offered the VP slot. She's the Tiger Woods of the District of Columbia. But for those special interest groups who wanted to continue Obama's legacy with someone like Susan Rice, no, they are not going to get excited about this once they are told that Kamala Harris is not African American. She dates married black men. She advances politically by sleeping with black men, but she's not black herself. Not important to me, but to the people Biden needs votes from, who knows? Number 3. Now here is the inside baseball analysis. This is deep. This is what the Trump-Pence campaign should run on, but can't publicly say. Trump, with his usual direct and truthful manner, stated it flatly as his initial reaction to this Biden announcement. He almost let the cat out of the bag. Trump said that Senator Kamala Harris was very cruel to Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Now, Senator Kamala Harris is whom the Trump team should run against. Not run on whether she smoked pot. Not run on how she was a biased and unprofessional prosecutor for the state of California. No, none of that. Team Trump should just run commercials of Senator Kamala Harris badgering Brett Kavanaugh during his confirmation hearings. You know, where she used hearsay, supposition, guilt by association, and anonymous informants to accuse an innocent man of being a mad rapist. That's what Senator Kamala Harris did to an innocent man, and the entire nation watched her do this, along with other disgraceful pieces of garbage like Cory Booker and the rest of the Democrats on that committee. Kamala threw out every principle that she should have brought to those Senate hearings as a former prosecutor. Instead, she did her best to destroy Brett Kavanaugh, his wife, his children, and their friends and family, just so she could get Trump. Kamala's unprofessional, disgusting, and just plain evil conduct during the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation hearings disqualifies her for high office. Heck, it disqualified her during the Democrat primaries, where people were disgusted seeing this hate-filled woman doing everything she could to tarnish an honest man's reputation, just in the hope that she could induce Brett Kavanaugh to quit. Well, he didn't quit, and now he's on the Supreme Court, and she threw her own presidential aspirations away when she went after a distinguished federal judge the way she did. Just as Joe Biden has just thrown away his presidential aspirations. If he had any to begin with, he may not know where he is. But I can tell you where he and Kamala are going this November, straight down. Thank you.